Mistake number 11. Pinching company pennies. Accustomed to having to account for how they spend their money, it seems even women who aren't hesitant to spend their own money on themselves fall into the trap of pinching company pennies. They allow themselves to be inconvenienced or deny themselves the smallest item for fear of spending a few extra dollars of the company's money on legitimate business expenses. Some women wear their savings as a badge of honor, when in most cases the amount of money they save is rounding off numbers for their corporation. I was reminded of the folly of this when a woman executive told me about being delayed in Los Angeles for a flight to JFK. She was originally going to take a train to her hometown where her husband would pick her up, but with the delay, it would be too late to catch the last train. She struggled with how to get home in the most economical way possible. She even considered asking her husband to pick her up at 2 a.m. to save cab fare. Now that's a mistake. A man wouldn't hesitate to call a car company or take a cab at that hour, regardless of the expense. As someone who travels quite a bit for clients to pay my expenses, I pride myself on treating their money the same as I would my own, frugally. Recently, I had a discussion with a male colleague about the increasing cost of airfare tickets and how much I hated to charge back these high prices to my clients. He was amused at my concern for the bottom lines of these behemoth corporations. I don't treat myself the same as if I were writing the check, he said. I treat myself better. If they want me to arrive refreshed, eager to work, and delighted to be there, then I'm going to fly business class no matter what the cost. They know the cost of doing business, and you should too. My inner nice girl flinched, but I knew he was right. In another scenario, the assistant to a female executive at a major manufacturing company was retiring after 20 years of service. The executive, notorious for her frugality, arranged a potluck going-away party. Thinking that she must be saving the money for a nice retirement gift, several employees asked if she would like help in purchasing it. Without hesitation or embarrassment, the executive said she thought the party was enough. As you can imagine, the word on the street about this executive was that she was cheap and thoughtless. It would be one thing if the company was experiencing financial difficulties. But this was far from the case. In fact, the male executives in the same company were known for quite lavish send-offs for long-term loyal employees. When you pinch pennies, you're wasting time and energy on meaningless matters. Additionally, you're more likely to be viewed as someone who isn't ready to play in the big leagues, and you definitely aren't taking care of the company's greatest assets, you and others. For the coaching tips. Number 1. When considering an expenditure, look at the big picture and how much difference the expense will really make in the larger scheme of things. Number 2. If you have a budget, use it. Few companies reward, let alone notice, employees for being frugal. Number 3. Consider the payoffs for spending small amounts of money on employees. Paying for a lunch or a floral arrangement to a staff member in the hospital won't break the budget, but it will reap dividends in terms of goodwill and loyalty. Number 4. Unless you are directed otherwise, never ask permission to spend money. Instead, expect you'll be told if there's a problem. And if there is, don't apologize. Simply acknowledge your understanding of the message and ask for clarification around spending authority. And number 5, when the voice comes into your head that says, I'm not sure I should spend this money, talk back to it by asking, what's the cost in terms of time, resources, goodwill, or money of not spending it?